Teachers, I have a question for you. When's the last time you formed a small group without looking at the colors on your Dibbles or iReady report first? If that made you pause, this video is for you. Because here's the truth, no one wants to say out loud. If you're teaching before you've truly assessed, you're basically guessing, and deep down you know it and you feel it, right? You feel it when your red group keeps struggling week after week. You feel it when Jamal still can't blend sounds even though he's been in the same group for a month. You feel it when your data meeting starts sounding like deja vu. Same students, same struggles, different month. So let's talk about this love affair we have with color bands. Okay, can we talk about it? So red, yellow, green, they look so clean, right? They make it feel like we're organized. But color bands are compliance, not clarity. They tell you who is below benchmark, but they don't tell you why. You can't teach a color, you teach readers, right? And every reader in that red group isn't missing the same thing, right? So one might be missing phoneme segmentation, another might be struggling with vowel patterns, another might decode fine, but they can't remember what they read. So when we overgroup by color, we teach in generalities instead of precision. And precision is where growth happens. Hey, I'm Tamia, the founder of the Savvy Speducator, where I help school districts, coaches, and K-3 educators support students who are performing below grade level and just don't know what to do next. So my work focuses on showing educators how to turn all that data, those color bands, those progress reports into real action, because every child deserves instruction that's targeted and not guesswork. So let me introduce you to, we'll call him Jamal. Jamal was a second grader, and on paper he was a red student. His Dibbles composite score put him below grade level, and his teacher had him in the red small group for reading intervention. Sounds right? Right. Except here's the thing. Jamal's teacher was teaching that red group CBC blending and letter sound fluency. But Jamal already knew all of his letter sounds. He could decode simple words. So why was he still struggling? Because, glad you asked, the problem wasn't sound symbol connection anymore. His gap was orthographic mapping. He could not retain words in long-term memory. He could decode a word like ship on page 1, but by page 2, it was brand new again. So what did we do? We paused the small group cycle. I pulled a micro assessment. It was like 5 minutes. And we looked at his nonsense word fluency, real word retention, and automaticity with high frequency words. The data told us something powerful. Jamal didn't need more phonics drills. He needed high repetition practice with immediate feedback to map words to memory. That shift, just 5 minutes of real assessment, changed everything. It does not have to be a long drawn out process, y'all. So within 3 weeks, Jamal was reading connected text fluently for the first time. Why? Because we stopped guessing and we started targeting, okay? This is what I want you to remember. Assessment isn't taking away from teaching. Assessment is teaching, right? Micro assessments show you what your full group cannot. And when you assess in small, frequent doses, not just 3 times a year, you can adjust before you waste weeks reteaching the wrong thing. So you'll see patterns faster. You'll group by skill, not score. You'll stop losing time, right, to interventions that don't fit. I always say teach like a scientist, not a stylist. So don't just go with what looks organized. Go with what really works, okay? All right, so I know what you're thinking. You're like, Tamia, I want to do that, but I have 200,500 other kids, right, in the class. I have a pacing guide and an administrator who wants to see color-coded groups. I get it, but let me free you for a second. No one should walk in your classroom knowing more about your students than you. You don't have to teach to the color. You teach to the child. The data is your GPS. It's not meant to control your route. It's meant to guide your decisions, right? So if your groups aren't moving, if your lessons feel repetitive, if you're exhausted from doing everything right and still not seeing growth, it's not your fault. You've just been trained to collect data for compliance and not clarity. And we're about to change that, okay? Here's your rescue plan. So you're assessing every week, but you want to keep it micro, right? I'm talking 3 to 5 minutes per student, track specific skills, not just scores, right? You want to regroup every 4 to 6 weeks based on growth. Don't let the color bands become your comfort zone, right? You're going to teach in layers, not levels. So some students need decoding and frequency and comprehension scaffolds. So it's not linear, it's definitely layered. Next, you want to document your observations. So if you see something, note something. Data isn't just numbers, it's definitely patterns in performance. So when you do these things, your groups stop being random and they start being responsive, okay? So back to Jamal. So by the end of the semester, his dibbles went from red to green, but that's not even the best part, okay? The best part was watching him raise his hand in class and say, Miss Peterson, I can read this by myself. Or Miss Peterson, I want to try to read this by myself. He was very interested in being a part of the learning experience, right? Because we gave him the tools. So that's the power of true assessment. That's what happens when you stop teaching before you've assessed and you start using data as your superpower, okay? Because that's what it is. It's not meant to be daunting. It's meant to be intentional, right? So listen, this is exactly what I'm breaking down inside my small group rescue webinar, okay? So I'll walk you step by step through how to build skill-based small groups that actually move the needle without spending hours analyzing data, because time, we just don't have it, okay? No matter how many bodies you have in the room. So if you want to go deeper, upgrade to the VIP experience, you'll get the workbook, the playbook, the replay, and live Q&A, so we can look at your actual groups together and make sure you walk away with a clear plan. All right, so stop guessing, start rescuing. All right, click the link below to join the small group rescue webinar, and let's make sure no child stays stuck in the wrong color band ever again.